Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to the Michael Lambert Show, and this would be episode number 10. And today we're gonna dive straight into the Alaska Adventures. So, just to start this off, back in 2017, I've talked about it in the previous episodes, but this is why I went to Alaska in the first place. Just to rehash, my roommate died after letting him borrow some money, and then just everything went wrong after that. There was more deaths, things got towed, legally, which sucked. By the time I even found my car, it was like over $1,000 just to get it out. I was like, don't got that right now. Yikes. Hence why I always keep like a tow fund now, just in case those days come. Like, hey, everything's okay, because like lost like a $12,000 car and $30,000 of stuff, including like a home studio and yada yada yada. Went straight from finally having like the life I've been building for years, straight back to sleeping with the clothes on my back and benches. So, anyways, after I was sleeping on the benches, I was so depressed. I was like, man, I don't know what to do. Texted my dad and ended up being able to stay at this prostitute's house. Well, the only thing she talked about was how he was upstairs on heroin and how good she can give blowjobs. And trust me, she was, I would never touch that. So anyways, after going through that and then just more stuff, I was just posting on Facebook. I was like, man, get me out of here. And looking back, I probably should have went trucking again. But anyways, I was posting on Facebook. I was like, hey, can someone get me out of here? I'll work. Just get me out of here. I'll take the next plane ticket out of here. And lo and behold, someone messaged me and was like, hey, I know a place. And I applied, and, well, in just like 2 days, or a couple days, I had a plane ticket out to Dillingham, Alaska. Anywho, before we dive into this story, let's take a moment for our sponsor today. So, I took a flight. Well, at the time I had an Uber rental, and I contacted them to pick it up because, well, I was out of gas and just SOL. And anyways, they got their car. I think I just bussed to the airport. I checked in, and then I flew to Seattle, caught my next flight to Anchorage, and then I caught my next flight to Dillingham. And then, you arrive, you check in, they give you like a dinner meal, and then they take you through orientation, show you around the plant, talk about safety, don't stick your hands in the machines and all that jazz. Or, as me and my buddies coined, don't go upstairs and stick your hands in the female bears after 10 p.m. So, anyways, I met a cool couple people out there my first year. Ended up being a processor, and I just basically put it in the box 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 8-hour breaks, which wasn't bad, 8-hour breaks, hey. But anyways, so I was hanging out with a few buddies, like, right when we got there, and we're waiting for, like, the fish to come in, because this is the seafood industry, and we were processing salmon. So, there's, like, one bar in town, 2 grocery stores, actually, but that's about it, and then, like, houses. So, we go to the bar, and I'm just trying to break the ice with my newfound friends, and I point over at the vending machine, and I'm like, I just say the stupidest thing, like I sometimes do, and I'm like, man, my dick can stick in there. And my buddy was like, what, the dollar bill thing? I was like, yeah. And then my other buddy was like, what, like a beaver's dick? And I was like, yep. So my nickname was Beaver. To a few people that understood. Anyways, during orientation, you meet a couple cool people. One of my buddies had a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, and basically with me and him the whole season we talked about music He was a drummer. I was the guitarist. Well, no instruments out there. We talked. I mean, while we were processing, we would talk to each other about like Star Wars lore and all that stuff. But I did meet a ton of people out there from all over, from like well, the first year there wasn't many Ukrainians because of the visa. There was like a visa ban at the time in 2017. So none of like the Ukrainians and the people from Europe could come, but it was a lot of people from like Nogales, Arizona, and a lot of people from Puerto Rico. And I'll just tell you off the bat, the money you make out there, if you're from, some people are from Seattle, California, Chicago, and Denver. And seriously, the money you make out there doesn't go a long ways. You do get to take home like $5,000, but $5,000 can go in a heartbeat. For me, half of it got spent on a car like instantly. So let's talk about it. So you make minimum wage, but I would call it like a meditative job, because I mean the only thing you do is work. They house you, they feed you. So I mean, if you're down on your luck, yeah, it's a good place to go. If you're looking to make some like good money, it's not a place to go. And one of my favorite parts of my first year, I learned about hostels, which are like hotels, but like with roommates, and how cheap they can be, from Vegas to Louisiana, all sorts of stuff. So I met some people that have been on the wrong side of the law quite a few times. I mean, you had like your 18-year-olds out there, and like everybody in between. You got to learn about other cultures from the Philippines and just all over. And that was the nice part, because you got people from all over, from all these different backgrounds, and you're just there together on one mission: get the fish through the plant. So anyways, me personally, mid-season, that was the first time I got carpal tunnel. And even to this day, if I work my hands too much, it does feel like a knife right through my wrist. So, but I was put into like it was one big plant, but there was like a side room that we called Little H&G, which is head and guts. And anyways, we had our little team going, just doing our thing all season. And eventually, I kind of just got bored. I mean, just 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, weeks on end. Put it in the box, 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 put it in the box. And eventually I got bored, so I just started wandering off and doing other things at the plant, like the stacking side. And one day I got bored and was like, I'm gonna go pin for a while, which you pin it before it goes to the machine, before the heads are cut off. And then there's like the slime line, which I had fun. I didn't do it the full time, and apparently people hated that position, but it wasn't that bad. I liked going over there sometimes just for a break from the same monotonous thing constantly. The slime line, you get a knife and you just fine-tune the fish that come off the conveyor belt over there. They already are gutted and they already are deheaded. Wow, that was just terribly sad. But so we get a knife and then we just kind of go through it and make sure there's like nothing sticking around, eggs or gunk on the fish. Make sure it looks like some nice salmon. Anyways, there's one guy out there, and I believe his name was Sam. And that year, he... before we get to Sam, I'm going to tell you some stories. When my carpal tunnel was acting up, I walked into like the plant manager's office and just asked for a bandage or something. I mean, I had no idea like where the first aid stuff was. So I go see him, and then he just hands me a bandage and says, go get to work. And okay, I'm like, yeah. So I was on time at that point, but when I got inside the plant, he considered that late. So he called me right back to the office to write me up for asking for a bandage. So I really did not like that guy at all. And a lot of people didn't like him. So let's get to Sam, because that year he was kind of a role model. He got fed up with that, and he worked on the outside docks, and he was like more of a like checking in the boxes of fish to the trailers type of guy. And he sat down for just a little bit, and the boss out there like freaked out on him, because he just sat down for a second. I mean, in other places and other years, like, it was okay to sit and just like do your job. Even people I met later that have went out there a few times throughout the years, it's like, man, dude, I just sat in a chair all day and twisted a knob every hour. That's it. So some people had it easy, some people had it hard. But anyways, with Sam, he got fed up with that, and with him being the role model, he dressed up in all patriotic outfit. I mean, American flag t-shirt, pants, and everything. And he walked through the plant without like the safety equipment, like the aprons and stuff and gloves. He walked through the plant with a bottle of whiskey, I guess. I forgot what kind of, maybe bourbon, I don't know. One of those. But he walked through the plant and just drinking. He made a little scene, then he went straight into the office and he quit. / fired. Because it was kind of like a thing, you can't quit, you're fired. So, anyways, but that year he was a role model, and a lot of people got upset about all that. I mean, a lot of people got upset about him. But anyways, the good news is he's not out there anymore. And to sum it up, let's just head on to the second season. So, in between these 2 seasons, I ended up having a trucking job that I talked about in like last episode or 2 episodes ago, where I worked and he ended up just not paying me. So, worked for 7 months and then just walked away with $0 and nothing. So, because I wasn't planning on going back out to Alaska. And anyways, the new plant manager who was foreman the year before, he called me up. He was like, "Hey, I need a trucker. You got a CDL, right?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And after that, I blew it off because I knew what it was like out there and I didn't want to go. And but it was messed up because he was like, "I'll tell you how much you make once you get out of here." And I didn't actually know what I was in for, because I ended up breaking like every trucking rule. And if I'm like gonna be a professional driver, I can't just sit by and be okay with that stuff. But anyways, so I get out there and then he tells me how much I'm gonna make, and it was only $14 an hour. And as a trucker, that's like that pay is just terrible, because like out in Denver, minimum $22 an hour, and nowadays it's more so $25 or $30 an hour. So, but I mean, when you go out there, if you quit, you have to buy your own plane ticket out of there, which is over $1,000. So it's like, you're just kind of stuck doing it. So, I mean, there was good people out there. I'd mess with the dock people as I'd move trailers around. And so sometimes I was able to take a nap, thankfully. But with lack of sleep and just being in this daze for a month, I mean, stuff happens, like you drop your trailers and whatnot, or sometimes yank out a cord from the socket and all that stuff. One time I was also a forklift driver, and that's actually where I learned how to forklift drive. I just kind of hopped on one and asked safety manager to license me. But one time I was just trying to bring this case back down from that was going to the airport, but like they didn't want it for some reason. I forgot why. But anyways, I'm forklifting it down like the path out there, and I hit this bump and I spill literally $1,000 pounds worth of fish, and it sells for roughly like $7 a pound. So I literally just almost basically threw $10,000 worth of fish just on the dirt. I mean, some was Some of that fish was done for, but some of it thankfully didn't hit the ground, so we got to save it. And when that happened, I was just in shock. I just sat there. The boss above the plant manager, I dropped it right outside his window. And I'm just like sitting there, and we had people out there that was, I guess, in an essence security. The watchman, he was walking by, and he was like, "Oh man, I'll get some help," because I'm just in shock. I don't know what to do. I'm just like, it's everywhere. So he runs, gets some people, and then like 7 of us help pick it up. And I'm like, gosh, oops. Another story. So at the time we had like 6 docks on the main dock side. So a lot of times we had to shuffle trailers around and just drop it real quick to get something ready for the forklift crew. And I put it down. I put a trailer down with fish. So this thing's like 60,000 pounds on the dirt, on like the pathway there. And everything seems fine. But little did I know, there was an underground trench right there that the electrician built for like the cords. So the leg from the trailer just slowly sunk. And, well, it slowly sunk, but an hour later, like, one side of the trailer is like almost to the ground, and we had to get the crane and the beach crew to pull it back up. Just kind of embarrassing, but anyways. My co-trucker was kind of funny because whenever he'd have a chance, he'd be like, text me, he'd be like, "It's nap time, I'm in dock 8. And he'd just kind of hide outside the cameras and take a nap. So, season 3. I went out for a season 3. Why would I do that after a couple things I just said? Well, that off season, May, I flew out there. But in February, I hit some bad luck where my car broke down, and I went from Ubering to literally like, oh my gosh, yet again, I'm faced with sleeping on the streets. So from there, I wasn't sure what to do, so I just looked forward for the 3rd season, even though I knew exactly what I was getting into. And he was like, my plant manager was like, called me, he was like, "You get a raise. We'll talk about it when we're out there." So I'm thinking, okay. Well, the first 2 years I proved myself. Maybe I'll actually get paid like basically my worth. And so I get out there, and I go out there early, and basically I'm just doing grunt work for like the first month until things pick up, the fish. And anyways, it just kind of sucks because like I get out there, so coerced maybe like $1 raise. So now I'm at $15 an hour doing the same stuff again, but it's worse this time because they upgraded the mechanics inside the plant. So there's not even time to nap this season. 16 hours go, and sometimes I'd work, well, actually 18 hours every day. 18 hours every day, season 2 and 3. So, but with that many fish coming out, because they doubled the docks and they put in a new machinery, so stuff was coming out faster. So there was no time to sleep. I mean, once you move one trailer, it was like, hey, got another one ready. Hey, got another one ready. Hey, got another one ready. So, there's almost no such thing as sleep. Basically 4 hours a night. But this season, like, the season before this, stuff happened, and, like, it was cool. But this season, like, it was weird. I decided to bring my girl out with me, otherwise I definitely would not have gone. And just looking back at this, I don't know why I like, looked towards Dillingham to, hey, make some money. I didn't even make that much money out there in the first place. I should have just hopped back in trucking. Would make more money, not dealing with any BS. So, there's like a lead forklift guy. Let's see. I don't know if I should skip to that part. But a few people basically just started blaming my girl for everything. Like, we got an egg house out there. And early in the season, there's no eggs. So the supervisor over there was like, yeah, there's no work in the egg house. You guys can all go. So one day, I'm just hustling trailers around, trying to organize them, squeeze them all together, make room for everything, get ready for the season to go. And the manager calls me down and is like, hey, hounding me about her hours. I'm like, how is this my fault? There's no eggs. Not my responsibility over there. But somehow that was my fault. So things were just slowly getting aggravating with all that. And multiple things happened. One time my truck was sinking. And we got kind of used to that between season 2 and 3. So we had to get one of the beach crew guys to tow me out, and the other trucker was spotting me. Unfortunately, when they were hooking up to the truck and the trailer, they just started dragging me. And I could tell that, no, stop, because we're getting drug. It's the wheels from the trailer are just getting drug and digging a big hole down at the dock. And the other boss would not have been happy about that, and he wasn't. So I'm trying to flag them down, but on the walkie, the other leads are all busy talking on it, so I can't, do anything. I'm just, flailing my arms, stop, and they, the spotter didn't see me, so, well, guess what? My girl got blamed for that. Really? And then let's add a third one in right here. So, if you don't sleep, you're going to be making mistakes. So, and I've done it season 2. Accidentally yank out a cord sometimes, a few times. It happens, it's part of the game. But this year, since it was happening, they just decided to blame her. She's distracting you. This stuff happened last year. She's not even around. So, anyways, I quit mid-season, and I started to report it to, OSHA and DOT. OSHA actually went out there, and, which turned into drama on Facebook, but, and I quit. I quit that job with that, because just getting fed up with everything. Because season 2 and 3, we had to run over these 480 volt cords, and we had to organize them too. So trying to do that once each season, the moment I let go of it, it exploded. And the electricians knew, and the guys at the harbor next door knew that this ain't safe. But when I brought it up to hey, can we make this safe? No one cared. So I was like, whatever. And OSHA didn't really understand when I reported it, so that was kind of weird. But the other things I reported on, they said get to FMSCA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety, because that's their jurisdiction, not OSHA's jurisdiction. And I just kind of let it go after I left, fuck it, in the sticks. I don't care. You guys can do what you want. However, though, I've met a good handful of people out there. I met some sailboaters, and I met some people that worked up at the airport, and it was nice, because it's I basically had clearance to just go on the airport, even though that's I don't know which jurisdiction that is normally, but it's you can just come in, just don't cross the lines. But that was cool. But I met some people out there whose hobbies were just to fly in these personal little airplanes around the bay, and they made $100,000. And speaking of which, I met other truckers that worked out there. They were rebuilding the airport asphalt. So, and it's funny because it's I'm out there getting paid $15 an hour, and then all the other companies are making at least $30, $40 an hour. It's pretty much I was just a dumbass for ever going out there in the first place. I'm going to cut this episode short, but there's going to be a better episode more about the people I met, learning about the Philippines, and learning about all sorts of stuff out there. Just stay tuned for that. Thank you for being here, and pretty soon, instead of all these random stories, unless something cool happens, I would like to start some discussions. You can send in voice messages. I've posted the link a few times if you'd like to hop on, and we could also do a one-on-one thing covering science, music, travel, anything. It'd be cool stuff. So, anyways, thank you for hopping into episode 10 of the Michael Lambert Show, and I hope you guys have a great day.